Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing an in-depth review of the TV show The Society, which dropped this year on Netflix, and I just finished watching it, the first season, which is the only season that's out right now, but I have quite a few thoughts, quite a few opinions. So if you haven't watched it or are currently watching it, warning, there are spoilers. There are going to be lots of spoilers, so I suggest watching this only if you've seen the season. But anyway, so review of, what is it, The Society. Okay, so I'll start off by saying how I got into the show. One of my really good friends watched it and was so obsessed with it. She had all these high standards. She was like, it's the best show ever, kind of thing. So I went into it with really high standards for this show. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first started it, I wasn't really into it as much as she was. I just didn't really see quite the appeal that she made it seem like it had. So at first I was a little bit just like cool concept, I guess, but I was personally bored by all of the government type, how they spent a lot of time talking about how we should run it, how we should have jobs for different people. I was like, yeah, but we need love stories, which there were love stories, I guess, but a lot of them were kind of bland until episode 7 when I fell in love. Grizz and Sam, literally the cutest couple ever. So cute. So cute. I literally could not at all. They were just so cute. And I love, side note, I love how they did incorporate a deaf character, and had a lot of sign language. And yes, representation for deaf people, we love that because we do not really see deaf characters in TV shows. And I love that they incorporated that, and because that's something we don't see a lot, and they're getting some representation. I love that. And honestly, they inspired me to want to learn sign language. So I'm saying that now. I'm gonna learn sign language, but I've said I'm gonna do so many things in my life, and I've never ended up doing any of them. So anyway, back to the show itself. Oh my god, Grizz and Sam are the cutest couple in my whole existence. And when they had it, okay, and hold on, Sam is just the best person. He's such a good friend of Becca, who got pregnant, which, first of all, I'm still mad that we don't know who the real father is, because Estes wants to know, you're really just gonna leave me hanging like that. And then Sam, who's just the best person ever, said, I'll be the father, I'll take the father role, I'll help raise this kid, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell everyone that I'm the dad, even though everyone knows he's gay. He's gonna change everyone's perception of him just to be a good friend. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And then, but Grizz found out, and then I wanted him to tell Grizz he wasn't actually the father, but it's just ooh, but he's such a good person, he wouldn't tell Grizz. And I'm like, come on, I'm rooting for you. I can't have you two fight because you're killing me. You two fighting kills me. Anyway, I've been losing. I'm just kind of talking. I don't have any points I'm making. I'm just kind of sending all my thoughts into the universe. There's a lot of characters I didn't like that just irked me, that just annoyed me. And I'm gonna list them off. I didn't really like, I forget if his name's Adam or Will. The black guy with the curly hair. I think it's Will, but I also think it's Adam. I don't know. But he kind of annoyed me. Allie really annoyed me. Allie just annoyed me so much. Oh, I did like Gordy. Gordy was cute. He was fun. He was like a cutie little, And I hate Campbell so much. Never hated anyone more than I've hated Campbell. And that's the tea. That's the Termaggy tea. And let me just talk about the end. The whole revolution first of all, with the election. And it was Harry who was being basically controlled by Campbell. Oh my god, can we just get into this whole Ellen Campbell thing? Elle's sister. I felt for her. Oh my god, that is such a rough situation. I don't even know what I would do in that situation. She was literally trapped because in this town, because she said in one episode, if this was the real world, she would just hop on a train and just get out. But she's literally trapped in this small town. There's nowhere where she can get. Wow, like, it's just the worst. He literally gets pleasure out of putting her in pain. He enjoys seeing her in pain. Like, what kind of literal psychopath? Like, he is a literal psychopath, but what kind of person gets pleasure out of hurting other people? That's just so unimaginably inhumane. It's just not it. And she was, because at the beginning, she was like, oh, because obviously she was, like, didn't have a lot of friends. Not a lot of people really paid attention to her. So he was really one of the first people to give her that attention, which she kind of needed at this point. Not everyone was just kind of disregarding her, and she was tired of it. So when someone gave her attention, she was like, oh, yay, attention, I have a boyfriend now. But then once she started getting a little bit more into it, he basically trapped her, and she couldn't. Whew, what a rough situation. She couldn't leave because he would, like, literally drown her and then stop her just before she would die and say, see, I'm the only one who could keep you safe. Like, I'm sorry, what kind of literal psychopath? Literal psychotic, oh my god, crazy person. Literal psychopath. Literal psychopath. Oh my god. I hate Campbell. Hate Campbell. End of story, just hate him. He's the worst, and that's the tea. Like, that's not even the tea, he's just the worst. Like, he is the worst person ever. Harry, let's do, like, character analysis. I'm pretty sure analysis is the plural of analysis, so we're gonna go with it. So let's start with Harry. First of all, let's just get the elephant in the room out of the way. Harry is hot. He's an attractive man, and there's no denying that. But his personality could use a lot of work, and that's the tea. So basically the entire middle chunk of the season, he was in this depression. Well, basically he was in this depression until, like, the last or second to last episode when Campbell came and, like, made him do things. But anyway, not the point. I didn't really see the point of, well, like, what the point of that part for the show was. Like, because I feel like most TV shows, every character or every person who does something, it all reflects a part of their personality, which reflects a part of the story, which all ties itself together into the show. But I felt like in the show there was just so many little things that just didn't make sense to me. They could make sense and I'm not following. But for me, it just didn't seem like it had a point. I was like, okay, he's depressed, and what does this do for the story? And it's okay, I can say that. I sound like a bitch, but that's okay, because these are all fake characters, so it's not like, what's wrong with you? You're depressed in real life. No, I'm just saying, most TV shows, this kind of stuff has to do with the story, or something happened to them personally that made them depressed, but this just, for me, kind of seemed out of the blue. My god, I've gone on, like, a tangent of a tangent of a tangent. Now I can't even remember where I was, because I had a point, and then I went on a tangent. Then I went on a tangent, and now I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go back to what I was saying, like, kind of towards the beginning of this video, about how when I first started watching it, I wasn't really a fan, because I didn't like all the, like, the government stuff. I was like, I signed up for a TV show, I didn't sign up for some, like, government show. That was dumb, but you get my point. But then I realized the show was called The Society, so the whole point, I sound dumb, the whole point of the show was to talk about this new society and how they are getting their footing and how they decide to do their politics and all this stuff. So once I kind of got that idea into my head, I guess it was more enjoyable for me. At the end of the show, I never finished making my point because I went on, like, 5 different tangents, but at the end of the show there was this whole election revolution thing happening, and it just, it just feels kind of rude that they would just end the season in the middle of all that. Like, we need to know what happens. What the heck, you know? Like, you can't just leave us hanging like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. Anyway. But apparently they did. They did do that to us. And how do we feel about that? Not so great. But what can you do? What can you do? Basically, at the end of the show, okay, first of all, Lexi. She's a no for me, dog. I don't like Lexi. Like, she just annoys me. She made no valid points in all of her arguments. She was just riling people up. And I just don't like her. And yes, I will agree with her that it is absolutely humiliating. It's awful. The situation that she was in where those two guys of the guard were, like, forcing her to change in front of them. That is so humiliating, and she didn't deserve that. But just, like, as a person, she annoys me. And that's the Trimigi tea. Anyway, also, this whole idea of the guard, Clark, and I think his name is Jason. I'm not sure, the guy with the dark curly hair on the guard, and he had, like, beard scruffles. I think his name's Jason. They are just so dumb. Like, they wanted to run for, like, city council and everything, but they literally cannot think for themselves. They literally just, first they followed Allie, then they followed Luke, and then they were all following Campbell. Like, they cannot think for themselves. They just, it's like they're little pawns and they just follow whoever, you know? Okay, so about this whole revolution thing, like, Campbell was pretty much the brains behind the whole thing. Like, he organized Harry, Lexi, the guard, Luke, Tangent. Luke, I really liked him at the beginning. I liked Luke a lot. Helena, I was okay with. Helena and Luke, I thought were really cute, especially when they were all in love and they were gonna get married, and it was really nice for the soul. But then, like, when the guard, like, was asking Luke to join them in their whole taking over the government type thing, and Luke didn't want to. He said that was crazy. And then they wouldn't let him leave. And then the next time we see Luke, he is with the guard. He's going along with them. So they made some sort of exchange, some sort of deal, or some sort of threat that made Luke join them, but we never got to find out what that threat was, which I'm annoyed by because, like, why is he doing this? And Helena is over here thinking Luke's, like, the best guy in the whole world, when he's really just, like, making up all these lies about Allie and Will and getting the whole town to go against them. And it's like, is he the best person in the world, though? Not so sure about that. Let's talk about Will. Why I don't like Will. Because there is a reason. It's not just because I find him annoying, which is the case with a lot of other people. But, I don't know. Will was just, he didn't know what he wanted, but he made it appear like he did. So he made everyone go along with him. And he changed everyone's, well, let me explain. Okay, so first, he was going after Kelly, who, by the way, I stan Kelly. She is just, she's amazing, which I'll go into in a second after I go into Will. So he wanted Kelly, he went after Kelly, he pissed off Harry because he wanted Kelly, and he got Kelly. And then right when he got Kelly, he was like, no, I don't want Kelly. I want Allie. Allie, who liked him from the very beginning. So Allie kissed him. He said, no. He went after Kelly. And then right when he's with Kelly, finally, he goes back and gets with Allie. Like, just make up your mind, bro. You're really playing with all these girls' feelings because you don't know what you want. And you're making all these people go along with you, but you don't know what you want. And it's like, get it together, man. Honestly, get it together. And that's the Trimigi tea. So, like I said, we're gonna come back to Kelly now, who I stan. I love Kelly. Her and Gordy really went out of their way, learned all the medical procedures, not all the medical, but they learned enough to freaking help Becca give birth to her baby, to help put an IV in. That is scary if you don't go to school for it. She literally just read a book and put that IV in. Who was that? An L. Like, she did all that. She didn't have to do a single thing of those, but she saved all the people when they were getting sick from Elle's pumpkin pie. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to help Becca give birth. She didn't, but she did, and I stan Kelly. And I don't know, I stan. So Kelly was on the side of Allie and Will, and Allie and Will got arrested because the guard, who was controlled by Campbell, told the whole town that Allie and Will were rigging the election, basically, which they weren't. I think, unless there was something I missed. I'm pretty sure they weren't, and they lied to everyone to get everyone against Allie and Will, so they would be for Lexi, Harry, Campbell, Guard, etc. Those people. And this is all while Grizz and those people are in the forest finding land and everything, and oh my, there's just so much that happened right at the end, and I'm like, oh, what's happening? And then Grizz came back at the end and he's like, what's happening? And I'm like, bro, so much has happened since you left. Like, so much. You know? And it's just like, all I want from the show. I really hope there's gonna be season 2, because yes, I will watch the second season, because I feel like I'm now invested. I still wouldn't say it's my favorite show. It's not one of my favorites. But I did enjoy it. I did watch it, and it wasn't like I was forcing myself to watch it. Like, I enjoyed watching it, and I got invested in a lot of the characters. Chris and Sam. Oh my god. But anyway, in the next upcoming season, hopefully, fingers crossed, which we'll have to wait a year for it, probably, or more if there is a second season, which kind of sucks. But anyway, in the second season, I just need more Chris and Sam. I need more Becca's baby. And Eden, that's a cute name. I support that. And it's like Eden because she's like the first baby born in that whole generation, in that whole new town, basically. Also, what the heck was the end? It like showed the real world, I guess. And it was like some lady walking in to read to children, and then it said in memory of, and then all the people that were missing. And like, does that mean like, that could mean many things. That could just mean like they think they're dead and it's whatever. Or that could mean they're actually dead and this whole time they've been in heaven or hell or somewhere else. Or it could mean, I don't know, that's pretty much all I've got, but I feel like it could mean other things too. I just don't know what it's supposed to mean. But anyway, that's my review. It was kind of all over the place. Sorry if you couldn't follow my, I was gonna say train of thought, but more like explosions of thought, because there was no railroad track, there was no train, there was no just method to follow. It was all just, you know, fireworks of thought. Hope you enjoyed my fireworks of thought. And yeah, go check out The Society on Netflix. Bye.